Let me just start off by saying I apologize if this seemed clickbaity, but this is a very important video that may determine the future of Skyblock. This morning, the Hypixel admin team decided to ban the use of Minecraft mods that bring quality of life enhancements to the game, including Skyblock. I'll leave the forums post on the top corner of the screen so you can read it for yourself. Essentially, any mod that changes vanilla mechanics, manipulates server packets, or provides an unfair advantage to players will no longer be allowed. They list 4 very vague examples: being shown invisible entities, changing player movements, canceling vanilla actions, and automatically interacting with interface elements. But they never go into detail about which mods fall into this category. After a 2-week grace period, Hypixel will start kicking and banning players who use mods that fall into these categories. The problem here is, we don't know what mods are a part of these categories. The most popular mod, being Skyblock addons, allows players to lock the slots of their inventory to prevent accidentally dropping items or items disappearing from server lag issues. Does this mod count as canceling vanilla mechanics since it prevents picking up items inside your inventory? Are we still allowed to use puzzle solvers that prevent us from misclicking the experimental table games? And is it okay to just change the color of glass in dungeons terminals and let that be a mod that we're allowed to use? We don't have any answers to this, and admins are strictly saying they will not provide us with examples of approved mods. Skyblock mods are a critical part to many of players' everyday lives. While I can understand wanting to prevent unfair advantages like puzzle solvers or preventing the break of stem crops, mods such as locking slots doesn't interfere with gameplay at all, and provides a much safer and enjoyable experience. But with the rules being so vague, personally I'm not going to use mods at all, since we don't have clear rules on what is allowed and what isn't. I think it's only fair to the community that the Hypixel staff creates a list of specific mods that we are allowed to use that doesn't interfere with our anti-cheat or have any risk of false banning us. It's understandable that nearly every mod will be disallowed still, but giving us a few mods that the team knows is safe will at least allow players to still play Skyblock comfortably. While every mod can still remain use at your own risk, there's a difference between that and blacklisting random mods we don't know. One of the main causes of this update by the admins was the community starting to slowly make mods that automated more and more of the game. Originally, we used to only have mods that prevented us from losing items or disable the accidental use of explosive weapons to prevent our island from being griefed. But over time, the community has made mods that solve puzzles for you, show an on-screen map of dungeons so you don't have to switch off your precious Hyperions to see what the mods are, risking death from an enemy, to even complete cheats that instantly solve completed puzzles for you. These quality of life mods has slowly turned into basically hacked clients, which are absolutely unacceptable on Hypixel. But the question still remains: what happens if they fully disallow Skyblock mods? Well, most of us would quit. Straight up. We have been so used to these mods that removing them would make Skyblock feel incomplete, and to an extent, even unsafe to play. With 2 presses of your key, you could accidentally drop your most expensive item. Who would risk that? Nobody. Disallowing mods would make a huge amount of players quit. Not only would this kill Skyblock's hype, and people would move on to a new game, but Hypixel would also lose a considerable amount of money, as those players will no longer buy Skyblock gems or cookies from their market. The solution to this is simple. The team should come up with a written list of Skyblock mods that are allowed, and mod developers would need to submit new mods to a staff team in order to get the public approval for use on the server. This would allow us to keep mods like slot locking that we so heavily rely on, and also allow them to draw a fine line of what they think is unacceptable for Skyblock. But let me know in the comments what you think of this whole situation. Thanks for watching, and let's hope we can get our mods back.